Hi, my name's Alan. I've known Charles for about 20 years. And for 20 years, I've been saying, "You've got friends?" And he'd say, "Yes, I got friends. Show them to me." And I can't believe I'm missing my chance. If you guys could put up with this guy, I'm betting you and I would get along. I met Charles first when I was interviewing for Takeda for a company that we both still work for. And Charles, for whatever reason, kind of took a liking to me. And I was very fortunate because he inserted his influence, and that helped me get a job against a much more experienced and educated opponent. And so I've always been grateful. Charles and I were partners for over 10 years before he went into management. The fact that he went into management makes me think that possibly I undershot my career. Anyway, I like to think that Charles was managing me way before he was an official manager. In fact, every morning he used to call me at 8 o'clock just to make sure I was working. Then I found out that after he knew I was working, he would go ride his bike. Well, that's all right, because after he called me and I knew he was working, I went back to bed. Charles introduced me to networking with people throughout our organization at many levels higher than us and higher than I was. And that was interesting. That kind of went like this. We have a long meeting somewhere. I'd be exhausted. I go back to the room. About 10:30, I'd get a phone call. He'd say, "Grizz, you're not sleeping, are you?" And I would say, "No, I'm not. Why are you asking?" He'd go, "Come on down here." And so through the Charles Hetrick method of networking and making friends, I met many, many people way above my position at that company. By the way, it's a skill I still put to use today. One thing that Charles said, you can have no better friend or advocate. That is, we all know that. But it's not someone you really want to make mad either. One time we had a boss's boss that was, he's a short guy. No problem with that, but he was just kind of a jerk. And he just kind of get on your nerves. Now, for me, I'm in El Paso and that guy's in Chicago. No problem. I just ignored him. But Charles did one of his 6-month home office stints, and apparently that was a little too long because rumor has it that at the end of that stint, the day after, as a matter of fact, that guy had a big old leather chair and a big old desk. And the very next day, there was a child's booster seat strapped to that chair with a little sign that said, "Now we can see you." I don't know if that's Charles. That may just be a rumor. I don't know. Hey, one thing that we do like to do is mountain bike. I love the mountain bike. I've loved it. Charles, of course, was a semi-pro rider, and he is extremely good. And actually, as in every other area of life, he is much, much better at that than I am. But I just totally appreciate it. He condescended to ride with me. And one time I was riding with him and his friends. Some of you may be here now. And we were riding to Don Anna's. And we're going to go down the single track called the roller coaster, which is a narrow single track path that goes in and out, up and down these arroyos. It is really fun, super fun. But I did not want to be left behind. Actually, I knew I would be left behind, but I wanted to make a good showing for myself. So we take off down this roller coaster. Guys, I'm riding as hard as I can. I'm riding faster than I have ever ridden in my life. I'm doing turns and jumps like I have never done in my life. Now they're still pulling away from me, quite frankly, but it's just amazing. I can't believe I'm just pushing myself. The end of that ride ends in a steep descent down a big arroyo, quite frankly, across a small dry creek, and then up a short hill. Well, I'd done it a couple of times, so I knew that was coming up. I couldn't quite remember what it looked like, and I know it was getting close, and my I'm riding so fast. I was like, I can't do this, and I just charged towards that to go down that arroyo. And as I got to the edge, all of a sudden I realized I'm flying. I basically pedaled right off a cliff. So as I floated through the air, felt pretty good. And then gravity took over. As my tires reconnected the earth, miraculously I stayed on my bike. The bike was shaking. I was going so fast. In my mind, I could picture pieces of metal and screws and things flicking off my bike into the desert. Somehow I'm still upright. I can't believe it. This is the ride of my life. And then I kind of look ahead and I realize the trail veers left and there's a stupid bush. I'm coming right at this dumb bush. And so I hit the brakes. For the second time, I felt that glorious feeling of weightlessness. And so, except I was without the bike that time. And as I plowed a furrow through the bottom of that arroyo, I came to a stop and I looked up and I realized the guys were already over the next the last ridge. Nobody could see me. Nobody even knows. I jumped up, got on the bike, and I pedaled as fast as I could to catch up. I'm not that far behind. And so as I come up over that last little hill, I come sliding in. Hey, everybody's just staring at me. Charles goes, Grizz, did you fall down? I said, no. Why you ask? And at that moment, I just looked down at myself and I realized that my jersey was just packed in dirt. There was apparently little mesquite twigs sticking out of my helmet, and every exposed area of my flesh was scratched and bleeding. And I was like, no, I'm good. Let's ride. You know, I have to say, sometimes looking back at my 20 years of being a colleague and friend, sometimes it's like that ride. You know, Brother Charles has pushed me in many ways, and definitely pushed me into maybe an uncomfortable zone, but one I could do and one I could grow into. And I have to say, every time it's been an adventure, and I've been better for it. And I am deeply grateful. I will say, I'm almost done, but one more thing. You know, one area of life I did do as good as Charles, yeah, there is one, is that we both married really well, way outside of our league. And, well, salesman, but practical skills. Anyway, I just want to say that, you know, back in the day, I'm sure you guys remember, Charles, an intense guy, man, like super intense. I remember when they were building their first house, which was so well done, so beautiful. Man, Charles would come in and just be, you know, he was just a firecracker, man. He was on fire. And he'd come in, and Joy would be there, and she would say, "Oh, Chappie, have a muffin." And he'd have a muffin, you know, made from scratch, hot out of the oven, just in time, steamy, yummy muffin, and he would just settle down. You know, Joey, I never did ask what the secret ingredient to that muffin was, but I'm pretty sure now it's legal. Oh, anyway, hey, Charles was my manager for a short time, but when that time was over, I gave a boring 90-minute presentation, and I just wanted to share it with you if you'd indulge me. Hey, I wish we were together. I hope we meet another time. Bye.
Oh my God. Charles Hendrick has a highly modified convertible Mustang, and when he's driving across the West Texas Wing, he goes by the little town of Greek, which should survive much less thrive. We call ourselves Great. There's a new sheriff in town with brand spinning wheels and the top cat down. When he hits the pedal, 500 horses roar. All he wants to do is just one big war. I got 3 hours to show him my seed, cause it's 6 more hours. So me and Nava, gotta get money, we're reaching for the stars. What does it say? We're shutting down bars like a man. It's Santa Fe, fire pit, the million's okay. Tasting wine in the hill country, and we're paying our tables cause we got silly. Sipping rum, drinking Bud Light, sharing our tales under the Martha lights. Come on, she is easy.